G'day, how are you? This is Ianapolis here, your acrylic guru from Australia. How are you all going today? I'm going to do a acrylic painting on my canvas panel there in 30 centimetres by 42 centimetres. And I'm just getting set up here. And it's going to be kind of like sky, water, land theme. Something simple but effective for you beginners to put on a canvas and hang on your wall. And so you could sit back and go, wow, I painted that. All right, that's what it's all about, and it's about having some fun while you do it. Okay. Now, what do we need? I want some basic equipment to prep my canvas. Now, I've got a good quality canvas cloth board here. It's canvas cloth on a board, and with it being a cloth, I like to give it a mist of water before I add my magic white, flow white, soft white, whatever white I'm going to use with the medium retarder. And that's going to slow down the drying time of the acrylic paint. I'm just going to pull to the side and we'll have the paint colours going up the screen there like that, so you can pause them and write them down and paint along with me. And don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already subscribed to my channel, and share it and give it the thumbs up. Or maybe you're one of those people that like to give it the thumbs down. Either. Make it happen. All right. So we're going to get our soft white paint. Now just remember, for those very, very first beginner painters, everybody has their own way of painting. Their way is not the all of only ways to paint, okay? So me or somebody else you're watching, that's just our way of painting. It doesn't mean that's the way you have to paint. All right. Now, I'm giving that a beautiful mist of water. I like these big bottles because they have a big fan. Some you can get little ones, and they concentrate little bits and can create water to run down if you're not too good at spraying a panel. Okay. Now, we've got that on there. I'm going to use this brush here. It's there. It's a hot day today. It's very humid and warm here, so I haven't got my coat on today. I've just got a t-shirt on. I've got my microphone. Hopefully you can hear on that. So I want to crisscross and get this pushed into all those fibres onto this canvas here, because as you know, a canvas has little cross-weave potholes, and sometimes if you're not aware of that and you're painting across the canvas, you find them popping out into little white dots all over your painting. All right, now I'm just brushing those strokes out like that, nice and easy. And now that canvas is ready for the way I like to do a sky and everything, okay? It's prepped. Now I'm going to use phthalo blue, so I've got some phthalo blue in a tub. I went and bought more blue the other day, and I went and bought French ultramarine, and it should have been phthalo blue in a tube, because now I've got two full French ultramarine blues. So, see me knife? I just give it a wet. Okay. And then on a paper towel, it's clean. Now we need a bit of retarder in this as well, not too much. There's wet there. Read what you're doing. Have some common sense about what you're doing. All right. Now I want to get this sky on, but it's not going to be a full sky. It's going to have cloud in it. So this painting, we're going to kind of make things happen in the painting without actually painting them on there. Bit of blue here, not too much. I just want to sort of cascade it down into this white, and I'm going to have like probably a horizon line in this as well, okay? And we just want some periodically pieces of blue there, just like that. That's it. Now I'm going to grab a blending brush, and I want to blend that in a cross motion, horizontal motion, just like that. And what you need to do is have your paper towel so you can so you can wipe your brush. And see what that retarder retarder has done with the white soft paint underneath. I've wiped my brush because if I didn't, she'll be full. I'm getting the edges done. Work out what works good for you when you're blending like this. Oh, look at that big. That's no good like that. We want that to... There we go. We're going to put some white on here. So we'll blend all this into that soft-bodied white with retarder. And we've got our broken up sky. See there? I'll pull it across. Soften it now. Okay. It's very dark blue. Maybe it's darker than what I really wanted it to be. So what I'll do, I'm just going to pick up some more of that soft body white onto my brush so I can get some... There we go. That's the kind of blue I wanted it to be. You never want your skies to be fully dark. I'll bring that down there like that. We're going to have water here, an ocean. We can add a tree if we want. We can add anything, a mountain. All right. Let me get rid of this blue heavy. There we go. Now we're going to add our cloud. For the cloud, I want to use just some titanium white. Now these are going to be your stratus clouds or your ultra stratus clouds. They're very high, long, swept ones. They're not going to be like a cumulus. Where the whites are on my board, I want to push this horizontally into the painting. Okay. And then just sort of get this stuff fingered out there like so. Stamping it on like that. Grab your blending brush, a clean blending brush, and we want to tap that and bleed it into the blue. This is a thicker paint now than what that soft white stuff was. Okay, and we're tapping it. As I'm tapping it, I'm pulling and tapping it like that to get these long, scratchy, fine-haired, fingery looks on the edge of it, you know what I mean? Oh, now see what I did there? I went here and I put blue there. That's why you got to keep wiping it, and you come back from one end, and you cannot let that happen, okay? It's good to make mistakes because then you can see how to fix them or to see what not to do. This is just the sort of cloud I want into this painting. Don't want to always do the same old fluffy simple cloud. You've got to break your clouds up if you're going to know about clouds. Stratus clouds are the real high ones. Okay. There we go. I don't want to contaminate the next cloud, so I want to just... I've got a bigger tub for washing the bulk of the paint off the brush. And then I've got another tub just to rinse that again and the paper towel to dry it. Okay, and she's clean, ready to go again. So we'll pick up some more white. We're not contaminating it. See, I have a white patch here. I want to bring some all the way in here. Pick it up more. Nice and long. A lot of this sky is mainly white compared to being blue. I'll blend that now. Wipe that brush that I had. And see, I want to do the same again. I want to have this nice, long, blending horizontal lines. That's it. Now I can sort of bring it into the middle of that formation of clouds. Get that really looking scratched up, emerging. We can go over this so many times to get it perfect with more white. These ones aren't really going to have a shadow colour inside of them. And that retarder inside that white has allowed this to stay wet for so long for this to happen. We'll get some more on here, so stamp that in. finger it out. See, sometimes, like I said, you might have to do it a few times over that area. So, because it's wet, I'll get this happening. Sometimes when you blend, you can blend a lot of the brightness that you want. You can blend it out. So that's why I say sometimes you might need to do a second pass. So anyway, we're going to get all this blended in there. This would look good, this type of painting I'm doing today, if you had a panoramic canvas. You know those really long ones that lay down type? This will be beautiful, big size on something like that. Wipe that. And let the tips of the brush do all the blending for you. Alright, I want my horizon line in there, so I want to sort of work out, I've just got a ruler here, I want it about there. So this paint's still wet, that looks reasonably straight to the eye. I'll just scratch a line there. You might not see it on camera, but I can certainly see it. Okay, and I'm going to use some turquoise now. I'm using phthalo turquoise, but just to buy a turquoise colour. And I've got some mid-yellow, and I've still got my phthalo blue. So I'm going to pick up my phthalo blue on a very directional brush. What I call a directional brush is one you can put on its edge and get that edge nice and tight, okay, like this, without taping it up. That line that I put there helped me get it reasonably straight. I might just wet that brush a little bit, dab it on a towel, pick up some more of that phthalo blue, come from this side, because the white underneath is still wet. It brings that light, but I want at least something dark out there. And when you practice this movement, you can do it till the cows come home. You don't always need tape. Okay? So we'll get some bands like that. And see, I want some of this just bleeding. That's why I wanted to keep it wet. See how it's bleeding like that? Okay? And I've got a ridge of paint happening here. I don't really want to have that. So let's see if I can get that out by another soft, because if you press too heavy it pushes the paint to the edge of your brush hairs and it creates a lip like that. That'll do, that's alright. There's still a bit of a lip there. Now back down here, I'm going to pull out the turquoise that I want on this same brush. I've gone and washed all that blue out of it. Pick up a bit of the mid-yellow and we're going to make that a bit greener. See? You can't see it until we turn the headlights on. Put a bit of white in it. There's our lighter colour turquoise, and we don't want too much paint on the brush because we want it to melt into that white as well. So we're going to see how I've got like an open bit there. I want to start in there, get some turquoise in there and get that out there. Pick up some more on the brush. Try and keep these different watercolours there. I'm going to pick up just a little bit of the darker one now because I want a bit of a dark wave here. I'll wipe the brush just to resemble a dark wave. Now wipe the brush, pick up some of the lighter one again, and see, this brush is just doing all the work for me. There we go, that's all I've done. Now I want to merge those colours together. I'm using my blending brush and I'm going to see where the turquoise is meeting there before it dries on me. I want to just merge like that. Get my paper towel. And merge all these colours. Come in from there into that dark bit. That's just going to be a bit of a wave. Alright, we've still got some wetness happening before I want to get the sand colour in, and then we'll marry that with the white. So I have my yellow oxide here, and I'm just using a stubborn fan brush, and I want to get this all along the bottom. Scatter it through, and then I'll use another brush to bleed it through. You don't want it a perfect straight line. Pick up some white if you want, just to lighten the load of that. There we go, we've put it on there. I'm using this brush, it's been washed, and I want to pull all that now, wipe the brush as I do it. And I want to manipulate that colour till it's the colour I like. Wipe it, and then I'm going to come to the edge and tassel it and scrumble it into that colour there. Okay, because this is a very shallow wash up coming onto the sand here. And I'm just manipulating this to the way I want. Use your mind, let your creative thoughts come in and make you do what you feel is going to work for your painting. Okay. Alright, now we'll just highlight this bit of a wave we put there, and you want a nice flathead brush that's got a chiselled edge on it. Just grab some clean white and get it onto there so it's working like a knife for you. And we can get probably a bit of a line over that wave. Wipe your brush, pick up some more because it's running off the brush a bit. And get it through there like that. Okay, and you can obviously see it's making a bit of a wave for us, or the resemblance of a wave. Now I'm grabbing my little flathead that's been all frayed on the edge, and I want to keep the top but blend the bottom of that white line into that dark green. It's just detailing that little wave. You could have left it like that if you liked. Same there. And then blend, oh you idiot, hands get shaky. Blend the tail out. And we'll just put the minutest into the blue out there as well. Just some white, highlighting it out there somewhere. Grab this brush and see, bleed it through. That's got to be, that's what I want. I want like a white band there. I don't want like it's sharp like a wave out there. That's just like the sky colours hitting the surface of the water. Something like that. Oh, it's just got more detail. Let's fix this wave up now. So we'll pick up that white again. Get it on there. And stamp it on. Don't press too heavy, otherwise you're going to sit it into that green paint and it's going to feel like you're not getting anything on there then, okay? We'll put some down there. I want enough to sort of merge so I can show you what I'm trying to achieve here. That'll do. So here I want to lightly scrumble it into that darker colour there and tail it out. Now we're ready for the wash up water along the front here. That's looking a bit like a wave now. Now we want all this white wash here coming on, so we want to get that on first and then we'll just lace it coming over the sand up there. So we're going to pick up some, I've got the white, see this white here, it's going to be a bit bluey, dirty white, I don't care. And then we've got some clean white there. So what we want to do is get some on there like that first, grabbing that little blending brush that we got, and we're just we want this laced into the water, but I'm trying to bring it just to that dark bit of that wave, so it's like the waves come over and this is all the whitewash on the top coming to the shore. Just knowing where to put these lines will help you in the future. Okay, that's looking whitewashy. Now we can do the rest. So all this is just real turbulent and scrambling and rolling on itself onto the shallow water here. And as you can tell, it's even more shallow here where the actual sand colour's coming through. So now this, we're up and down, scurrying it across there. So this looks like a real whitewash, turbulent, but it's just not shallow enough to hit the sand colour at the bottom yet. That'll happen down here. So now we're just doing this, and we've got all the light colour blue coming through as well. Okay, and that's looking like that sort of motion you get on that sort of water. All right, we just want to bring the water washing onto the sand. Now I want to put out there, because a lot of people are showing me their paintings and they're doing some fantastic jobs, but to be critical, try not to do these as too much up and down like that, okay? Try and imagine that you're painting towards yourself, so, and it'll look like that in the picture, all right? So I'm going to show you that now. I'm going to use my fan brush. Where did I put it? And the clean white paint now, okay? And something if we got a wipe. So we'll grab our clean white paint, lace it onto something you're quite happy with to direct this onto your canvas with. I'm using my hog bristle fan brush. Now, we do not want them going too high and low, so I'm going to start from here. You want to sort of keep them that way, if anything, and you can come back on them like that, okay? Let's do that much for now. So I've done that, and I'm grabbing my little blending brush that I had before, and we're going to leave the bottom edge of those lines on and push this back into there like that, and that becomes the edge of our water washing onto the sand. How's that looking? That'll have to do it. This is another thing you can practice within itself, is doing this wash up stuff. Put a colour down. See, it's sort of rubbery and damp now. It's not dry and it's not wet. It's just allowing it to scrumble together. And we'll just do some more over here. Just, where are we? We can sort of come this way and bring a whole piece there like that. Try and keep the bottom more together. Don't worry about up in here. Grab our little pusher back brush and watch. Now I'm going to push this back on a horizontal way. I don't want to come up like that with it. Everything's got to be horizontal. Horizontally do it. And you're seeing the sand through the water now because it's so paper thin and shallow here. Okay. How's that looking? I might have to redo that bit again because I've lost there. So I want this to sort of come over there, and I'll just pull that bit back. There we go. I've just picked up some of the phthalo blue and scrubbed it into that yellow oxide there just to make a darker colour onto a script liner. Now you want this, you've seen this done before by me and other people I suppose. You want it reasonably damp and very thinly put your shadow under your whitewash. It sits it onto the sand there, okay? And that's all you need to do with that. Get some more. Do a little bit in there just to indicate that. It's just putting the shadow of it there. Wiggle it, thin as you can. Practice this as another procedure. We'll come over here. And sometimes you just, I'm twisting the brush as I'm pulling it forward. and jiggling it as well, and it's making its own natural line, artistic way it's looking. Probably put little bits of dark ones in there if you want. Just some darker shadows in there. Okay, we're just about finished. I think what this picture needs, where's some dark Van Dyke brown, and I want to just put maybe a palm bending into it, okay, give it that tropical look. So I'm going to use Van Dyke brown. Is that Van Dyke brown? Yes, I'm going to use Van Dyke brown and a flathead brush. Now I want the brush a bit damp. I've blow dried this so it's dry and I'm not going to start mudding everything up. And I want to get this onto my flathead there. And I'll have it here. So I don't want to kill that wave, so I want to there and come a bit fatter. So that's it. I want it reasonably thin there and to come out like that. Now for me palm tree, I'm just using a darker colour. You could have even used Payne's grey if you wanted to, or mixed up a darker brown than this, but I'm just using something that I've got on hand just for the recording's sake as well. I'm feeling I should have put a bit more of a bend in this tree trunk, but not to worry. Now I want the edge of it sharp. Sharp, sharp, sharp. You want it Tammy sharp, really sharp. Okay. And then we dry that so as we can scratch other values onto it, okay? I haven't washed that brush. I'll probably wipe it down a bit. Get some of that build up off it. I'll wipe it on my paper towel. And I'll pick up some of the white. Now let's spray this because... And on our painting, well, let's not get that too wet. Now I've dried it, but it's not dry, it's a bit chalky dry, that brown. So I'm saying this the light of the day still at the top here. So I want to just bring this around and create a round shape in our palm tree there, just like that, and let it scratch through. Pick up, wipe off your brush because you don't want a big blob back here somewhere, and just give it some back to front letter C's going up your trunk. Sometimes you might be right-handed. You paint your pictures according to the comfortableness of the hand, so you might want to paint this the opposite lay of the picture. Normally when I'm doing a portrait or side portrait, for some reason I like to have the portrait looking to the left. I'm more comfortable doing it that way. Now we'll quickly finish this palm tree off. I've got some forest green here. It's darker out of the ones that I use. And we're going to map in our fronds for this tree. Alright, so I'm going to just start in the middle, come out and let it scratch down. There's one there. Okay, let's bring another one here. Down, 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 down. Let's bring something maybe up there. Something down here. Now we want one at least in front of the trunk as well to give it that illusion that. So we'll come there. Now I have seen a few people, they do their palm tree, so to speak, and it looks a bit like a wheel off a cart. That's all they've done. Now I'd like to just make it a bit busy in the middle, just like that. Chisel the edge of your brush and sort of give those busyness. I'll put one down there, it looks a bit naked there. There we go. Get the main ridge of it. That's it. And get these a bit sharp. Okay. Now I've given that a bit of a dry and I've washed that brush out that I used, and I'm going to use the same brush, and we're going to pick up our yellow green now just to highlight those fronds. So we want to get some of it within there and down in the branches, or the fronds. God help me, I say the wrong word. People will be on my back telling me I'm doing things wrong. But this is just kind of putting the branches either in front or behind of whatever's there. It's subtle, but it's doing its job, in my opinion. There we go. We could put some light on those as well. I might get a little bit of yellow and just dance in that, just to see if it's going to give us some real, yeah, there we go. Highlight that yellow green. Look at that difference. That's it. I've just danced the tiniest bit of yellow into it, and because it is a bit, yeah, I want to be able to put things in front and behind each other. Does that look? That's looking all right. Okay. We can pretty much sign this and put a frame on it. We'll sign it down here. And we'll pull this tape off. It's always exciting to pull the tape off. And we'll put this frame on top. Yeah, that's pretty simple. Long, simple, flat ocean with a palm tree, a basic sky. And it doesn't look like snot, but it's a painting that a beginner can pull off okay. That's not too shabby. Be sure to check the links in the description below for my Facebook page, my patrons page, and my video library. They're all there to click on the link and go and have a look, because I've got quite a few videos in there building up now. If you like what we've done today, tell all your friends. But if you don't, tell everybody. All the best, goodbye, good luck, and good on ya.